Hello, my dear Aquarius friends. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm so happy to be back with you for this guidance for the months of July and August. Let's begin with a quick overall view of your spread. In terms of major arcana, you have the Hermit as your main challenge. This might be an invitation to seek answers within yourself rather than turning to those around you. Then you have the Magician, showing up as what will help you overcome that challenge. How beautiful! Next is Temperance, which represents a gift from the universe, one you might not see right away, but that will come once you've moved through the challenge. You also have the Pope, influencing your emotional life, and the Moon in your professional and financial area, suggesting quite a bit of confusion or uncertainty around a decision that needs to be made. We'll of course explore all of this in more detail, but the reading ends on a very high note with the Emperor at the end of August, a return to your inner authority and power. As for the suits, we've got swords, then cups, and wands. Do we have any pentacles? Yes, we do, right at the end of the month. So overall, this looks like a fairly balanced 2-month period. Let's begin now with what lies at the heart of these 2 months, what truly matters, because it represents what your soul is most deeply longing for during this phase of your life. And as you know, when we live from the level of the soul, not from the little self or the ego, life becomes more joyful, more peaceful, more harmonious, because we're in alignment by definition. And here, you've drawn 2 sword cards, the 6 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. The 6 of Swords is about movement. It's about leaving something behind. Yes, it can mean a physical relocation, but more often it's symbolic. You're moving on from a situation. And where are you going? Toward calmer waters, toward something more peaceful, more joyful, something more aligned with who you are. And alongside that, you have the 4 of Swords. Look at this giant-like character, this ogre-like figure from the Celtic Tarot. It's a deeply symbolic deck. I'll include links to both decks in the description in case you're interested. The figure lies at the base of a tree. The 4 of Swords represents rest, especially mental rest, since we're in the suit of swords. Together, these 2 cards tell you that your soul is longing for change. It could be a change in your living situation, a trip, or a need to take some real time off. Or it could mean leaving behind a situation that no longer works for you, something that may be creating stress or mental overload. That 4 of Swords seems to be your soul's request to recover inner peace. It could point to a job or activity that's draining you, and maybe it's time to take a break, or explore a different role, or even consider a complete shift in what you do. Of course, the message of the 6 of Swords can apply to all areas of your life, whether that's stepping away from a relationship or letting go of a home or property. For example, to reduce financial pressure, or shifting away from a lifestyle that's weighing too heavily on you. Now let's look at what will help you step away from this emotionally overwhelming situation. And here you've drawn the 5 of Swords and King of Cups. The 5 of Swords is, let's be honest, an uncomfortable card. It speaks of disharmony, like all the 5s in tarot do. It can point to a disagreement with someone close to you, but can also be an internal conflict, a gap between what you desire and what you're actually living. It's still a card of victory, but one with mixed feelings. You may win, but not without giving something up. There's a cost, whether that's your health, a relationship, or something else. There's something that has to be released. And strangely enough, it's this kind of incomplete victory that will help you move forward. For some of you, it may be about you can't have it all. It's likely that you'll need to let go of something, even as you gain something else that matters more. And this will be what allows you to reclaim your inner peace. Maybe this decision feels hard to make. And I can't help but connect it to the 2 cards in your professional and financial area. I really do believe this is where the tension lies. We'll explore it in more detail later, but just keep in mind, this letting go, even if it doesn't feel perfect, will allow you to close a stressful cycle and finally turn the page. And next to it, you have the King of Cups. In this context, he may represent someone around you, a coach, a family member, a friend, a guide, or even an unseen helper, like a guardian angel or another spiritual presence. Whoever it is, someone is there to support you during this transition. Now let's look at your main challenge during these 2 months. It's represented by the Four of Cups and your first major arcana in this spread, the Hermit. Let's start with the Four of Cups. Look at the figure on the card. There are 3 beautiful cups in front of him, and the universe is offering a 4th one, filled with promising emotions, held by a dove carrying a branch, perhaps an olive branch or laurel. And yet, he doesn't seem interested. So clearly, there's a situation coming your way, but you may feel little or no enthusiasm about it. It might be directly related to the Five of Swords we just talked about. And then we have the Hermit. This is the card of introspection, seeking answers within rather than turning outward. But since it shows up as your challenge, it could mean that you'll struggle to center yourself. You may find it hard to disconnect from the noise around you and feel tempted to ask others for advice or look outside yourself for direction. So even though the King of Cups, whether male or female, might support you, the decision ultimately rests with you. Now, the next 2 cards are really important because they represent the help the universe is sending you. The tools it's placing in your hands to help you move through this challenge and overcome that feeling of discouragement or emotional fatigue. And they're both beautiful cards, especially the Magician. The Magician is a truly magnificent card. His message for you here is you already have everything you need to find joy again, to reconnect with your courage, your confidence in life, and in yourself. But you may need to draw on resources that aren't necessarily the most conventional. To give you some ideas, the Magician can be about techniques like visualization or manifestation. I don't know what you personally use to manifest a goal or dream, or whether it's even something you've explored before, because there are so many different techniques available today. But if you're curious about trying something a little different, I'll include a link in the description to an audiobook that teaches what the author describes as the most powerful manifestation technique ever known. One that, according to legend, was even used by Moses to part the Red Sea and free the Israelites. It's a method I personally use with great success. You can use it to manifest anything: more money, a breakthrough success, a soulmate, anything that's aligned with your true path. Now let's move to the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card of choice. It's about standing at a crossroads and needing to decide, do I go left or right? Do I keep going with this or stop? Do I accept the situation or do I walk away? And because this card shows up as support, it's saying, yes, a decision will need to be made. And to help with that, I really encourage you not to focus only on your current situation as it is right now, but instead, try to visualize yourself a few months or even a few years from now. Ask yourself, where could this choice lead me in the long run? How will I feel if I stay or if I walk away? By the way, if you feel like sharing what you're going through right now, please leave a little comment under the video. I'd love to read you and respond, and who knows, it might help someone else who's going through something similar. Now let's move on to the hidden gift behind this challenge. Because when the universe sends us something difficult, whether it's a decision or a change of direction, it not only gives us the tools to meet the challenge, as we've just seen with the Magician and the power of decision making, but once we've moved through it, once we've walked away from a situation that's no longer right for us, we often realize that what seemed negative at first was actually a blessing in disguise. That blessing is represented here by the Seven of Wands and Temperance. The Seven of Wands shows us that the gift behind this trial will be your ability to stay aligned with your values. Look at the character in the card. He's standing firm, defending his ground. His perspective might not match the crowd's, but he holds steady in what feels right for him. And that inner strength you're developing leads directly to temperance. This is such a beautiful card in this context because once you've held your ground, once you've defended your vision, a deep sense of balance arrives. Temperance is about restored harmony. It's the calm after the storm. It's a beautiful gift because you'll come out of this stronger, more grounded, more in tune with who you truly are, and as a result, more peaceful. Now let's move into your emotional life for these 2 months. Remember what your soul is asking for: freedom from what no longer serves you, a shift towards something more aligned. And yes, that may mean letting go of something along the way. Here you've got 2 truly powerful cards, the King of Wands and the Pope. This king is full of inner fire, determination, vision. It's a card of confidence. He knows what he wants. And while he may feel doubt from time to time, he doesn't let it stop him. In your emotional life, I believe this king represents you. This card is asking you to embody that powerful version of yourself. And I'm sure you'll do it beautifully, because I can't help but see that emperor waiting at the end of August. Absolutely stunning. Now take a look at this version of the Pope. It's exceptional in the Celtic tarot. You see a wise figure, perhaps a druid, gathering what looks like mistletoe and offering it to a young man. This gesture is deeply symbolic. It speaks of faith, of trusting ancient wisdom and something greater than yourself. In this context, the Pope represents faith. He invites you to trust, not blindly, but quietly and deeply. Everything you're going through right now has meaning. The unseen is guiding you. There is a vast, wise presence you can connect with. It's truly beautiful. Now, let's turn to your professional and financial life. And here, we really get to the heart of your reading. You've drawn 2 powerful cards, the Two of Swords and the Moon. Together, they clearly show that a decision needs to be made, but that it's not going to be simple. The Two of Swords is the classic card of indecision. You see a woman, blindfolded, arms crossed, holding 2 swords. She's unsure. She doesn't want to see or doesn't yet know which way to go. And yet, even though the decision is hard, it's usually logic, discernment, and analysis that bring clarity, because we're in the suit of swords. Now, the moon reinforces that message. It speaks of confusion, illusion, hidden things. You may not have all the facts yet, or perhaps some elements are unstable, unclear, maybe even misleading. So it's crucial to be extra mindful. If you're signing a contract, read the fine print. If you're considering a career change, a financial investment, or some major shift, take the time to really prepare. Make a proper budget, ask for expert advice, evaluate every option carefully. This is a space where intuition matters, but rigorous analysis matters even more. Together, these 2 cards say, don't rush, but don't stay frozen either. Shine light on what's murky, look past the surface, and move forward with care. And now, look at what's waiting for you at the end of August. It's truly magnificent. The Emperor and the 8 of Pentacles. There couldn't be a better card than the Emperor to close these 2 months. It's the image of your regained power, your solid foundation. You're back in control. You know what you want. You've moved past the fog, the indecision. You've faced the test, and now you know exactly where you're headed. There's a feeling of stability, but also of renewal. This challenge, which may have felt painful or even unfair, will turn out to be a gift from the universe. Maybe by the end of August, you won't yet see all the blessings that are unfolding. That's likely, but they're clearly in motion. And next to it, you have the charming 8 of Pentacles. Look at this little gnome-like character, deeply focused on his craft, surrounded by glowing fairies in a magical atmosphere. The 8 of Pentacles is about dedicated work. It's about patience that leads to mastery and eventually to success. There's a real sense of skill and discipline here. After all, we're approaching the 10. And in the context of this reading, I believe this card shows that you're entering a phase where you'll be able to apply your talents to something concrete, but in a way that feels almost magical, deeply inspired. This isn't about obligation or pressure. No, I should or I must. This is about joyful commitment. You're becoming the craftsperson of your own life. It's absolutely beautiful. Before we close with the oracle message, let's look at the precious advice from your guides to help you move through this time in the most joyful, constructive way possible. You've got the Ace of Wands, a clear sign. You're on the right path. The universe is reaching out to you. Look at the card. It's as if your guides are handing you this wand, offering you a new beginning. Like all aces, it's a fresh start, but one filled with fire, passion, and momentum. Because we're in the suit of wands. So in those moments of doubt or discouragement, don't hesitate to come back to this reading. Yes, there may be some confusion, some emotional fog along the way, but the evolution you're heading toward is truly magnificent. Just think of the Emperor and the Eight of Pentacles we've just seen. And now, this Ace of Wands, your guides saying, "We're here. We'll help you. We'll guide you. Don't give up." And we end with a message from the Little Oracle of Intuition from the Prediction series. Renewal. A relationship, a situation, or a cycle is coming to an end. Accepting this will unlock your full potential to step into a new space where fresh possibilities await you. Look at that, how perfectly it sums up the entire reading. There's a new chapter beginning, most likely related to a career or financial decision. It won't be easy to make, but you will make it. And not just that, you'll make it brilliantly. And this decision will guide you toward what your soul truly desires, a calmer, more aligned, more joyful life. Remember the Six of Swords? You're moving toward peace. And yes, it might require letting something go, but what you gain will be so much better. So my dear Aquarius, I wish you a beautiful 2-month journey. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. It always brings me joy to read and respond. And don't forget the audiobook link in the description. It's such a powerful tool for manifestation. I'm sending you all my love. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you again on August 28th for your next guidance.